You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy Podcast Network.
Damn, Daniel.
And we are live.
We'll do it live.
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football. Balls for everyone. Say I'm Mike Rich and I am joined as always by Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good. We're a little slightly late. Got my fresh new cut, trim my beard.
Nice.
Getting ready for Yankees tonight. Coming off a hot weekend. Can't complain.
It's pretty good news for all of our teams thus far, at least.
You looking forward to the Yankees? Who can talk about Yankees?
Not at all.
Why? Are you nervous?
Because they've not been good as of late in the postseason. And until they are, I'm just not going to put my hopes up. I got my hopes invested in two teams that routinely let me down already. And so just putting it all in on the Yankees like I have in previous years, not going to do that.
Isn't this like their first postseason appearance for a couple of years, isn't it?
Nope. They just don't win in the postseason. They go just about every year.
I heard something about first time in 4 years, something. I don't know.
Nope. They just don't win.
Yeah. Well, at least you're positive about it. You know, feeling good.
Maybe we change that. Who knows?
I got to think, surely, Aaron Judge has got to be being a little bit confident, a little bit more relaxed. Now he's got this, the weight of that 62 off of his shoulders. I think
probably a little bit, but we still got to get dubs in the postseason. I don't give a fuck about 62 home runs. 5th place on the I don't care. Win a ship, and then we'll care. And
we've got to, get quite a few home runs because our pitching has been a little sus.
Yeah, I don't really love the bullpen, but I don't know. Maybe they'll get it figured out.
Because I'm not as into Yankees as I am Giants and West Ham. But was it Garrett Cole? Is something like 130 million contract or something over?
Yeah, but if he could pitch in the postseason, that'd be great. He's got a better opportunity than ever to this evening, and we'll see if that can go on. Then Nestor Cortez, Luis Severino, Italian. We got a solid group of starters if they can get it done. I just am worried when we get to our bullpen right now. We don't really have a set closer going into the postseason, and that's always kind of an issue. Cleveland's looking pretty hot right now. And then I feel like the Astros are probably to beat us no matter what. So, I don't know. I'm trying to not to, every year the last, 3-4 years, I've been, all in on the Yankees because really, the Giants have not been great. So I had to put it in something else. Right now, the Giants being 4-1 has really, helped be let's not go all in on the Yankees just yet. Let's just wait. Let's just taper our expectations because it's very likely they're going to hurt you again.
How bad would that be if the Yankees do end up getting knocked out of the playoffs by the Astros? Because obviously, Yankees bet in Houston.
Yeah, they'll they like to talk shit. Astros fans like to talk shit. So, it'll just be the same thing as it has been the last 3 times it's happened. I'm used to it by now.
Let's talk about happier times.
Yeah.
Nothing more happier than Darnay Holmes right now. You saw that video?
It's quad massage, yeah. And it looked like some other stuff. We got to celebrate those wins somehow, I'm not going to tell a man how to celebrate a win. Who am I?
If that goes on in the sidelines, what goes on in that tent? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, like everyone's like, why would they be doing this? Like there was gonna be a real hand job, like they'd go to the 10.
And I'm sure he would rather it by someone else.
Probably.
I was listening to the fan today, and I was talking to Julian Love, and apparently, like, as soon as that went out, apparently Graham Gano was like all over the plane, showing everyone, "Look at this! Look at this!"
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Darnay got some shit in the locker room this week.
Apparently, he took it well.
Yeah, you have to. I would imagine.
I always, if someone's talking shit about you or making fun of you,
you gotta embrace it. Yeah, you gotta embrace it.
It's just never gonna end.
I love though when you come across somebody that like they don't get that, and it's like, dude, you know what? We rag on you because you get worked up about it, and then it's a fun game to everybody else to be like, hey, let's just throw this little bull. Like you just start something it's not even true, and then you're like, oh, I heard you do this, dude. Yeah, dude, that's what I heard. Dude. No, I don't fucking do that, man. Leave me alone. I don't. It's like you getting worked up about it just gives it more fun it makes it more fun for us. And when you stop doing that, it's called taking the piss, I believe, as they say across the pond.
Well, that's another thing. My favorite one is I remember watching this a big wrestling guy. There's it's not a documentary. It's like they have a show on Peacock called Table for Three, where they have 3 wrestlers, maybe from different generations, and they're just talking for like 30 minutes about wrestling and their careers and yada, yada, yada. And there was just one wrestler who just made the joke of, because you know Brock Lesnar, right? Because apparently when he was coming back, someone started a rumor that one of the other wrestlers was taking Viagra backstage because he wanted Brock Lesnar to think he looked big.
It makes your veins bigger, yeah.
And he was like, I didn't do that. Yeah, you wanted your bulge to look big, good for Brock Lesnar. And he just 5 minutes. I'm sure they edited it down, but he was like not having. It's like, and even they said to his face, dude, if you keep doing this, we're gonna keep making fun of you.
Right? Yeah, you giving us the reaction that makes it fun for us is what's causing your downfall here. A lot of people don't get that though.
Quick back to apparently Bob McThunderwaffles on YouTube thinks Houston might not get past Seattle.
Just because they're losing right now. They'll be fine.
Oh, are they playing right now?
Yeah. 6-3, bottom of the 6th. They'll be fine.
I mean, who played earlier? Who's the
Phillies beat the Braves.
I mean, Braves started to make a little comeback there towards the end.
I did put some money on the Braves to win the World Series, like right before the postseason started. They were like plus 500. It was like 5-1 to win. So I was like, all right, I'll throw some money on the Braves to repeat. I don't think they will, but like everybody was putting money on the Dodgers and the Astros, so I wanted to be different.
You'll know because you're the baseball guy and the gambling guy. I always imagine the Yankees are going to be always bad money because for some reason I always feel like they're the favorites all the time, but they, like I say, they haven't done
just because they're the popular team. It's like, I'm sure like Man United always has pretty decent odds at like betting to win the title, even when they're not good, just because like people that don't know anything about the sport know who they are. And so it's like people know who the Yankees are. So like, well, I'll bet on the Yankees.
And it fucks up the odds for everyone else.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like basically like what they want is even money on everything, so they adjust the odds accordingly. And when so many people are saying the Yankees are going to do that, and then also Yankees fans do tend to get in their head like it's our year, and that's why I was like, it's not. I'm not going to be that guy this year.
You got no money on the Yankees?
No, none whatsoever.
Good stuff. All right, so we've got a couple of things to talk about. Giants, obviously. Do you want to talk about Giants first, the game, or do you want to talk about West Ham?
Let's talk Giants, man. I mean, I'm most excited about that. I love West Ham, but like the Giants, this is just we didn't expect this.
I was gonna say because even though
we didn't expect this at all, dude.
Even though West Ham did make it tough against Fulham, both games that West Ham won, they were games that we expected it to win. But the Packers game.
We were just like, we're gonna have fun, I guess. Let's show us something, and boy, did they! They showed us something. We have maybe did Danny figure it out? I don't know. I mean, he didn't throw a touchdown. Was a little hobbled by an ankle injury. 217 yards.
And he got a boo-boo in his hand.
Yeah, made his center look like he was pooping blood or some shit like that. Like that sucks. That was a bad day to have the white pants
Did you
on,
have
even
to
though I think
wipe?
we only have the white pants.
Did you have to wipe your hand?
Well,
On
but
my
like
last
you got to
one?
put your hand under
I guess.
center, and so like when you hurt the top hand, like that's just part of the game. It's just part of the game. I mean, honestly though, like just convenient that our uniforms match the blood, so it was white and red went along with it.
Yeah, Bobby brings up a good point. I've heard a lot of people are blaming the Aaron Rodgers imposter for a lot. So it was very rare. I've only heard a couple of people actually talk about, wow, other than local radio here in New York area, everyone else is talking about, oh, the Packers, they lost rather than the Giants won.
I mean, I think part of that is true. The Packers, when they play their best football, they're without a doubt a better team than us. Although I'm not going to fucking apologize for winning the game. I'm not going to apologize for winning the game. We capitalized. We needed to capitalize. Aaron Rodgers had the opportunity to come back, tie that game, and Kayvon Thibodeau was not having any of that shit. Xavier McKinney was not having any of that shit. Darnay Holmes was not having any of that shit. We had our guys. Like our defense and Wink Martindale, every single week, you don't see the same look. You see an entirely, this was game 5 we just finished. Like it's been 5 different weeks of like, what the fuck kind of scheme are they going to run out there? Are they going to run more of a cover 0? What are they going to do? Just batting down balls in that fourth quarter on that final drive. They were the last 2 plays, the third and fourth down for the Packers got batted down and almost intercepted. And it's just because they're aware, they knew what to do there. And they were like, all right, we're going to rush the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers doesn't face a lot of rush like this season. He hasn't. And him not being used to that, not seeing the Giants consistently doing that against former teams. Watching film on the Giants defense is kind of interesting because like you have to basically plan for 5 different schemes going into this week. Like the Ravens are like, shit. Okay, well, against the Cowboys they did this. Okay, well, against the Panthers they did this, but then they did this against the Titans, and then the Packers, yeah, they did different stuff each week. Like they don't like it's throwing a wrench into it to everybody else. And I mean, just that's Wink Martindale, like Mike Kafka we brought in. We were like Brian Dable, offensive coordinator for the Bills last year, the offensive guru. He's obviously going to focus on the offense. I feel like Wink Martindale doing what he's done with this defense is absolutely insane. Like they look like that bend but don't break that Patrick Graham used to have when he was the coordinator last year, but we're not giving up the points. We're stopping people to field goals. I mean, in that second half, I don't know what the numbers are exactly on Rodgers, but Rodgers looked good that first half. In the second half, they just shut him down. They didn't let him.
Yeah, other than the safety, they didn't get a single point.
And the safety was just kind of like time management.
Yeah,
like,
that was
wasn't
time
even
wasting.
Really Green Bay doing anything. That was us being like, well, we can kill some more time, give Aaron Rodgers less room to work with, and get a longer punt to work on our special teams and cover there.
So when the kicker gets the ball and then just runs out of bounds, you can't say,
yeah,
well
the
done,
punter
Packers.
ran and he just stood there and waited until somebody was getting near him. It was like, I'm going to run off as much time as possible. I'm going to run out of the back of the end zone. I don't really chalk that up to anything else like that, but like we were a totally different team in the second half. We looked like we were down 17, and I mean, I get that. We thought we were going to get blown out by Green Bay. I think that was pretty much what we thought. And then we just our defense was half injured. Like half of our defense was injured. We were on backup corners. We were on like all of our linebackers were out. We had an entirely backup core of linebackers. We didn't have Laney Williams. I mean, we basically just had sexy Dexy Lawrence running there, and then we had Thibodeau, and that was pretty much it. And like a squad of backups besides McKinney, and we were figuring it out. And it's just like this team hasn't had a ton of turnovers since we had Joe Judge as the coach last year, but like coaching fucking matters because these guys know how to coach with what they have. The Giants are not the most talented team in almost any game they're in this year. They haven't been.
No.
But maybe against the Panthers. And you could argue the Titans. But like we're figuring it out. And then just flipping to the offense, like you can't bitch about that either because Saquon's still running the ball. What fucking team besides the Giants has ever figured out to run the Wildcats since like 2014? Like it's not successful because you know that it's going to be a run, and the Giants aren't passing it. They're not passing it. You know it's going to be a run from Saquon, and Saquon's still getting 20 yards on carries. Saquon's still figuring it out, or Matt Burita's getting a little shine. Gary Brightwell's getting a little bit of shine there. The offensive line, man, not having like when they're figuring out what the weaknesses are in the offensive line is maybe not a lot of great pass protection. All right, well, let's adjust it to this. Let's have rollouts. Let's have handoffs. Let's have 2 tight end sets where we have more blocking, but we can also release the tight end and have little dump passes. That's what's working. And like you and I were calling plays. We did the live stream with my buddy Pat from Pass the Gravy, and we were like, it's probably going to be a rollout or a handoff. It's going to be a handoff or a Danny rollout. It's a handoff or a Danny rollout. It's a handoff or a Danny rollout. It's a handoff or a Danny rollout. And that was like 9 out of 10 times we were right. And like for some reason, teams don't know how to stop it. I don't know. I do not know what's going on.
What was shocking to me is that a lot of
simple call of all time.
Whenever Danny Jones was throwing it, the amount of space that he had several times.
They're like, he's not going to air it out. Oh, shit. Darius Slayton just cut that pass. Oops.
It was like, what the fuck?
Shit. He dumped it to Saquon in the backfield, and Saquon took off for 33 yards. Like, we are just there. No, everybody's moving everybody up to either stop the run, and then you can't stop the run exclusively because we'll roll out, we'll do the play action, and then he'll dump it to Bellinger or Myrick. Like, he'll figure it out. Like, it's the most simple video game type thing where, like, on Madden, I remember you could always audible your inside guy to a slant, and for like years that was just the easiest first down on going for it on 3rd or 4th down. You just, all right, inside receiver, run a slant, boom, 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 boom. And then like eventually when the AI on the game, like when they came out with it after a while, it was like, we're going to start realizing it's the familiar plays that you run. And then like they'd move up a safety or they'd move up a linebacker to kind of pick that guy. And then like you couldn't really do that. They'd take it away. And it's like, that's what we're expecting from every defense. And I feel like that's why we feel like we haven't been super confident going into the Packers game or going into the previous games we've gone into, just because we're like, they're going to figure that out, right? Like the Bears, that makes sense that works on. The Packers, it doesn't make sense that works on, because it was the most like, we knew it was like, we knew what the plays were. They had to know what the plays were because they studied our plays for an entire week, and somehow they still worked. And then you had the little seams open with Darius Slayton, the guy that like we have shit on for so many like weeks, I feel like, over the last 2 years, because he drops the ball. He was fucking catching the ball. He was making plays. And I think like we saw him almost get cut in the preseason. We saw there were trade talks about maybe Darius Slayton gets cut. Like, we should have fucking traded Kenny Golladay, man, because that guy hasn't done shit. I mean, he was hurt. He didn't travel with us. MCL, I think, is what it is. I don't fucking care. He's just as valuable to us off the field as he is on the field. Darius Slayton is our one receiver at this point, like our number one. Him and David Sills.
I think Kadarius Toney's. Doesn't he hurt his other quad? I
hamstring don't know. How do you hurt your hamstring when you're already hurt with your other hamstring and you're not playing? It doesn't make sense. Wan'Dale Robinson out. Like our whole rookie class, like this year and last year, are pretty much out, and we're somehow still just chug-a-lugging along. Like Dable knows what he's doing. Mike Kafka's able to call plays that work against the defenses, and it's like we're not like a lot of teams go out there and like if you stop this, you stop that team. The Giants are not good at everything. They're a fucking Swiss Army knife offense where it's like, well, maybe we need the toothpick right here. You know what? I do have something in my teeth. Let's run a 2 fullback formation over here. Put a tight end in the backfield. Okay, you know what? They're stacking the box right here. We're really tight against the goal line. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pull out the wine cork. We're gonna pull out the wine cork, and we're gonna do the handoff to Saquon, who's gonna then toss it to Bellinger, who's gonna pretend to throw it, but then just run it in as a tight end. Yeah, no, that works too. That works.
Who needs these tiny little scissors? Fuck it, let's try it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's run Slayton on the post route. Like the Giants' offense is a fucking Swiss Army knife, where like it's not great at anything, but it's good enough to get shit done. And that's what we've seen out of Kafka. That's what we've seen out of Dable. That's what we've seen out of not just the offense, but like the defense kind of does that too. Like whatever they need to be that week, they figure out how to stop it. They figure out maybe not like how to like just get rid of Aaron Rodgers, but how to limit him, how to make them abandon the run, how to focus on other stuff that they're weaker at. And the Giants have not been able to do that for 6 years since Tom Coughlin left. Even the McAdoo year, like it just felt like we were kind of lucky. We had a lot of turnover luck. We had a lot of injury luck that year.
The McAdoo first year, it was weird because I still
it was a fever dream.
On the stats. I look back and I was like, wow, we What was it? We
How
won
many
like 11
one-score
games.
games did we win? Yeah.
But
I
how
mean,
did we win that many games? I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't like Odell kind of carried that offense that year. But it's crazy seeing what we're being able to do with this offense, and it's not going to last for the whole season.
No, I'm not going to get carried away. But the fact that we've matched last season's win column in 5 games,
5 games in 5 games, yeah,
incredible to me. So I'm very excited because this is definitely year 1 of a rebuild, and the fact that we're able to pull this. I think I said it on the live stream. I think our coaches are kind of like MacGyver, whereas that you just give them little scraps. Oh, we need the 4th string wide receiver. Screw it, I'll make this door blow up. But anyway,
the 18th string wide receiver. I don't know. We're fucking running practice squad guys out there.
And Alex O scared me a little. Barkley got injured, right? Any update? I think he took a knock, but as far as I'm aware, I think he's fine. I think he's good.
Yeah, he came back in the game, but really, like I don't like knock on wood. Don't ever want Barkley to be injured ever again. That almost was one of those things that like Swiss Army knifed us even more, where we were like, shit, you know what? We can't just rely on Barkley, because sometimes I feel like the Giants offense, like, all right, the run's not working with Barkley. What if we can dump a 10-minute pass? Okay, cool. Well, can we get him to run routes? We can do that too. Can we just run him at Wildcat? Let's find that out. Like, we didn't have Barkley for a little while, and they had to be like, Gary Brightwell, Matt Breida. All right, well, what can Daniel do here? Roll Daniel to this side. Let's focus on our tight ends. Let's open up Slayton. Let's get Sills available. Like, that made them kind of expand what the offense was doing, because, like, yeah, it had been working with Saquon there, but then when we didn't have him, it still kept going. Like, we still were scoring. Like, Gary Brightwell scored a fucking touchdown without Saquon in there, and then Saquon comes in, and it still works. Like, everything just works perfectly. Like, that's what I love about what Dable's done with this offense. Is he's just whatever we got. Like, give me a bag of shit, and I'll line this bag of shit up with all the other bags of shit, and we're gonna score points. We're gonna figure out how to move the goddamn ball down the field. And I don't know how many guys we had to have with Judge or with McAdoo or with Shermer on the field at the same time. Like, you know, when you look at, like, we had Odell Beckham, we had we had Sterling Shepard, you had Saquon, you had Eli for a period of time, you had Evan Ingram, and nothing came of that. And now we're running out fucking Cody Bellinger, Gary Brightwell out there, David Sills, fucking Darius Slayton as our one, and we're getting it done. Like, we're moving the ball against what was supposed to be one of the better offenses.
Sills made a couple of good catches too.
Yeah, Sills did. And like we were supposed to be going up against one of the toughest defenses in the league, and somehow we figured out how to continuously move the ball against them. It's weird, and I'm just like, I don't want this to be the Danny catch last year where we're like, just remember this moment, because I hope that there's many more of these going forward. But it's hard to not just be like happy.
Oh, I haven't got that. Oh, I have still got that clip.
Hey, Alex, what's up? It's past Alex. Remember week 7 when Daniel Jones had that sick one-handed catch, huh?
Wow, that's so weird. Like, putting that, and now your beard is gone. That's
right. And that was just us knowing, like, we're going to be really sad with this team going forward. Like, we didn't buy in, I don't think. I'm drinking the Dable Kool-Aid, man. I'm drinking it. There's going to be bumps in the road, man. We got not a great team right here with what we're rolling with this season, but, like, out kicking our coverage, absolutely, is what this New York Giants team is doing, and it gives me hope that we can win. Like, I was like, we're gonna lose against the Packers, we're gonna lose against the Ravens, whatever. Am I nervous? I don't know. Like, should I be more nervous about the Ravens? I feel like I should be, because I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we go in there, we fuck around and we win. When we fucked around, we beat the Ravens. Then what? Then, like, each week, I'm building it up a little bit. Like, could we beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, look at it. So who they beat? They beat the Jets, they beat the Patriots, and they beat the Bengals. Just they're not. I'm not going to be. Yeah, we're going to beat them. But could this be another team that we
hang around with?
Another victory?
Like, again, yeah, we said this was our goal going into Sunday's game on the live stream. We were like, I don't expect to win. But, like,
just don't get
show
blown
us
out.
that you got fight in you. Show us that you compete. compete in this fucking game. Make it a good game. Make it a close game. Make them fucking scratch and claw if they're gonna beat you. And also, I'm cool with just winning. Like we could just win.
Oh yeah, I'll take
But
it. I'll take a win.
Give us that. Like they're showing up every week, and there were so many mailed in weeks the last 4 years, the last 5 years, really since that one McAdoo playoff year. There were so many years like that just went to shit. And just like we didn't show up for random games. Like, well, okay, cool. This is gonna be like this all day. The Giants are figuring that out. They're making adjustments. They're maybe the best second half adjustment team of all time. I did bring a nice little juicy stat about our buddy Danny. We are Dan Stans, have been Dan Stans since day one. Daniel Jones has 3 game-winning drives this season. Do you know how many other quarterbacks in the league have had 3 or more game-winning drives?
3 or more?
3 or more game-winning drives through 5 weeks of the season. None. Daniel Jones and Daniel Jones alone. Elite company right there.
For some reason, I don't believe you.
It's a stat I saw.
I think I was going to play along here, but I think I saw it.
Game-winning drives.
No one has more than that. I think there might be
Nobody
one or
more.
2 that has 3.
Nobody has more.
I've got a feeling there's got to be at least
Cooper
one.
Rush has 2.
That's a fucking.
People
I saw that somewhere today. Where was it? Cooper Rush is the first quarterback in Cowboys for the Cowboys to have Cowboys history, I think, to win his first 5 starts.
Yep.
And everyone was shitting on him.
Time to bench Dak. I don't know.
Fuck the Cowboys, but yeah, I mean, if I'm Jerry Jones, like, fuck, I spent all that money on, and I could have just had Cooper Rush. Speaking of the Cowboys, real quick, Thunderbolts, out of curiosity, who do you want to win on Sunday night? Cowboys, Eagles, Sunday night football. I'm gonna go with a tie. I would love a tie.
I would like it to be a tie. I feel like who do I hate least at this moment? I feel like I hate the Eagles slightly less. So if I had to pick, gun to my head, I would go Eagles because fuck the Cowboys. But like, I don't know. They are undefeated, but I also just want to see Dallas lose again.
I think the best outcome statistically,
RPO that they run, like it's that run pass option, and it's almost like the Giants offense where it's like same play every single time. Like, what are they gonna do? I think it's gonna get figured out eventually, but like, yeah, fuck the Cowboys.
I think the best outcome would be for the Cowboys to just look amazingly strong, take like a 30-point lead into the 4th quarter, and then the Eagles come back and it ties. So it's like, so we both get the tie, but we also get the Cowboys' misery at the same time.
I like that.
Let's make it happen.
I like that one.
And he misses a beard as well.
It's not coming back, dude. It's not coming back.
Does it ever get cold by you in the winter?
I mean, it gets cold here sometimes. It's not right now, but yeah, I just don't miss it. It's too much to keep up with, dude.
I know. I just had mine trimmed because I'm so happy with my trim.
It is nice when you get trimmed. It feels new.
And then after like 2 days, I'm like, yeah, I look like a hobo again. Yeah, so no bold prediction, I guess, for the Ravens game. I think, like I said, I think we'll just, as long as we look good,
fight, be in this game.
Try not to get hurt. Speaking of teams showing fight on this double header that we did, did you know, right? The live video that we did, the live streams now 528 views.
Oh,
nice!
That's awesome.
So yeah, if you want to check that, if you want to get like pull up Peacock and NFL,
maybe we got to stream more games, dude. Our teams are 3-0 on streams now.
Yeah, no, the Giants and West Ham have never lost a game that we've streamed live on.
It's a pretty good record. Pretty good record, honestly. I mean, it's fun.
I would suggest West Ham and the Giants like sponsor us, like pay us money to live stream.
That's not a bad idea either. I don't hate that.
We're doing you.
They put us in contact with them. Yeah.
My light is too bright. Let me just come back a bit. There we go. I look like. Did you ever used to watch that? Did you remember that movie, Cocoon? It's like an 80s movie.
It had Wilford Brimley in it.
I look like one of them. Anyway.
Diabetes. Your
West Ham.
your mic is bouncing around a lot today. Yeah.
It's all right.
You can hear it.
I don't know why it's so loose. Yeah, so I'm not even doing anything. It's wobbling. Have we got an earthquake? Oh my god.
Maybe.
Anyway, West Ham United.
Sweep in the week. Love to see it.
Just quickly touch on the Anderlecht game. It was not the most exciting game, but you know what? I did take.
They were half-assing that whole game, dude. They were fucking half-assing it, man. It was a boring game to watch.
But for the first time, because I've been very glad we're on the David Moyes train. We love that man, all faith in Moyes and all that good stuff. But the one criticism that I've been constantly giving him is his substitutional tactics throughout the season. But I tell you what, in that game, he made it right. He brought on Scamacca and he brought on Paqueta and Declan Rice at the same time. And then within 5 minutes, boom, 1-0 up. And all three of those players linking up to score the goal.
Yeah. So like, is Paqueta our hammer of the year now? Like, are we just gonna give it to him at this point in the season? I know Rice is awesome. I know we've got a lot of other amazing defensive players, but like, there's the team is different when Scamacca is in charge, and like, we could have had 5 goals just off of his big ass head. Like, that guy just, like, we talk about we're the hammers. He fucking is like one of those electric hammers. Anytime that ball is near the fucking, like, I just assume it's going in. I just assume it's gonna go in at that point. When it's fucking, it's like when Lanzini's there. Like, anytime he's around, like the corner of the box, like, just pass to Lanzini. He's gonna put it in. He's gonna do the Tottenham goal. Again. Like, I just assume that's gonna happen. It's happened once. We've seen him make goals like that though. Scamacca, I have that problem with him being like, header, just kick it to his head. He's gonna put it in. Just because he can. Like, that guy's fucking awesome. He's like Stretch Armstrong for that net.
Yeah, that Anderlecht goal where Paqueta like chipped it backwards and Scamacca wasn't even looking at the goal. He just kicks the ball into the net. I don't give a fuck.
He's like, goal scoring? Yeah, I do that all the time. This isn't even a big deal to me. Who the fuck is Anderlecht?
And to merge it with the Fulham game, how many goals could they, if on a different
day,
had
4 goals. He could have had 4 goals. He could have gone full Erling Haaland on that one. Like, he had so many opportunities. I do think that, like, one of those might have been a handball, but wasn't on him. Wasn't his fault that it was a handball. But, like, still, dude's a fucking stud. I love Antonio. We talked about this on the stream on Sunday as well. Like, we love Mikel Antonio. He's a fucking always gonna be hammered because of the way he came up with us and like when he was moved all around on that team. Been all the different
played every position except for goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's awesome, and like, there's definitely a place for him on the team, and he's essential in a lot of places. Not as a starter. I love Scamacca starting, Antonio coming in. We subbed Antonio in this week. Talk about Moyes making a great substitute. Just when you saw Antonio come in, you're like, oh, dude, fresh legs Antonio coming in like a bull, as Scamacca and his giant ass fucking just jog off like. Antonio could have scored another goal too. There's just so many. We can score at all times in this game now. Like, now with like the system that we're running, Scamacca in most of the game, put Antonio in, finish with fresh legs. Like, that's what we need. West Ham hasn't had that in 3 years, 4 years. West Ham hasn't had that in a very long time.
It's probably even longer than that. But yeah, I love the fact that now I think Scamacca scored 5 goals in his last.
He had that slow start
appearances.
But he figured it out.
But I think his confidence is definitely higher. Paqueta, I think some of his flashiness is he's starting to gel.
Is it just the new guys kind of figuring it out? Because that's what we had said in the beginning. We were like, we just got to hope at this point that it is all the newbies not being able to like work in unison just yet. Like, they got to get that rhythm. And I feel like it looks like they've got that rhythm. Like, I know Fulham.
I mean, Kera, other than fucking up in that penalty on his first game, but other than that, he's been amazing. yeah, Paqueta is coming into his own. I think I love the fact that they are linking up with the existing players because I think, yeah, I'd like to see Cornet come into it a bit more, but I think obviously right now, I think you don't broke it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So I could see him obviously being a Europa Conference League player for a little while.
Downs, I like what I've seen from Downs. Like, there's obviously room for improvement, but like, he reminds me of like, I don't know why we were so like, I felt like we got really infatuated with Ben Johnson, then it just went away. But like, he's like, oh, this guy is really overachieving for what I expected, and like we've got that at least with him. We're like, all right, youngin, good job, sport.
And my dad is a huge fan of his. I know this only because literally every Premier League game, an hour before kickoff, my dad's texts me saying, "Hey, what do you think of that lineup? Shame Downs isn't playing." I'm sure he just copies and pastes it every game. It's the same message.
I mean, he's exciting. I like that. He's an electric dude to watch. So like,
but he does. Do you know? Is it me or like? Hey, I love the guy. He's playing very well for West Ham. But is he like the kind of guy where you just look at him and I bet he has like a stamp collection or something? He looks.
Oh, he collects coins. He collects rare coins.
I'm just trying to have fun and hey, do you want to do some shots? Well, actually, the funny thing about the history of shots
Interesting.
is Flynn.
Yeah, Flynn's a weird name for sure.
Unless you're like an Irish poet, I don't think you should be able to be called Flynn.
It's a cool name. It's a cool athlete name, I think. We did not move up a ton in the standings right now, but like it's very early through 9 games. We're 3-1-5 at this point. It bugs the fuck out of me that the English do it wins, draws, and losses. I hate that it's not just win, loss, draw. But like we're moving in the right direction. If we keep playing like we have been the last couple of weeks, West Ham's definitely going to keep moving up that Premier League table. There's so much season left to go. It sucks looking at us at that bottom half of the table. Again, like we were saying last week, like Fulham was way higher up than us on the table. We don't know really how good Fulham is. I think we made Fulham look like they weren't very good. We matched up incredibly well against them. Again, our defense, when they show up there with just about anybody in the league, I think, which gives us a chance to win any game. And then when we start having that offensive flow, like we have as of late in the Premier League, at least. I mean, I know Wolves, not good. Like say what you want about Fulham, but I don't care. We're not going to apologize for wins. But like when we get that offensive flow, I think that like that's going to just start opening up so many other things. Because then when we can put 2 goals on the sheet every game, we can put multiple goals up. Like it gives us the opportunities to win against like the worst squads. And that's always been West Ham's problem, is like not being able to score goals and then giving up like a stupid penalty and losing 1-0. Like that's West Ham's like bread and butter on how do we fuck up a season. That's how we do that. Get VAR to go the wrong way. Don't score a goal. So then 1-0 goes against us, or against Chelsea. Sometimes it happens like that. But if we can consistently score 2 goals a game, I think we're going to be right back up there in that Europa League, Champions League talk. Probably more Europa League is what we're going to try and settle for. But like, I think that we're trending in the right direction. Scamacca, if this team can stay healthy, we really could be competing with all of those top tier teams again. And I felt like after the first couple of weeks, I at least was very doubtful that we were going to return to what we're looking like right now. Maybe we could play Fulham or Wolves every week. I'd love that.
Well, so I mean, the games we've got ahead.
Games counted. That'd be cool too.
That would be good. But we've got Southampton next, who they're not playing well. They've even got Liverpool after that, who they're not playing like
they seem like Liverpool seems like we could tie them. I don't know about beat them. They seem like they tie a lot this year.
But I mean, we have the same amount of points as Liverpool.
Yeah, they tie like every game, don't they?
They've played 8 games and tied 4.
Okay, so, but it just seems like that's half of their games. So like, yeah, all right, not that far off. I feel like every Liverpool game I've watched or monitored has been a draw. And then I feel like they also have draws in Champions League too. So that's what's on my brain too.
But yeah, I'll take a draw against Liverpool.
I'll take a draw. Points. If we can get points out of all the fucking games, we're gonna win, right? We're gonna like if you can't tell me getting a point out of every single match is not going to put you towards the top at the end of the season. Huh? Tell me that, Mike. Tell me that. Huh? 38 matches, 38 points. You're safe. If you drew every single game,
maybe.
Has anybody that would be the wildest thing? What is the most amount of draws any team's ever had? Has anybody ever just had? Because I know that's what it felt like. Burnley. Burnley, I felt like was doing that last 4 years in the Premier League, where they were like, we're not going to have any offense. We're going to have a very subpar defense, but we're going to really rely on the defense and the keeper and just hope that we can draw every single game 0-0. And it was when Burnley scored on you, and that's a loss.
So the highest amount of Premier League draws in a season, that record goes to Manchester City, who drew 18 games in the 1993 and 1994 season. But that was when they had 42 games in the Premier League.
How did they have the 42? Did they just
drop
2 teams?
Yeah, there was a couple of, it was many years ago, but they had, I think they'd relegated, or no, it might have been over a couple of seasons where they relegated 4 but only brought 3 up or something like that, where they just lowered the amount of teams in the Premier League. But it used to be 22.
Oh, okay.
But in the 38 match season, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Sunderland drew 17 games, which is almost half.
Do you have a Sunderland? Just because there's that Netflix show, is probably my backup team that I don't really care about, but I check maybe once every 2 months. It's the Championship League, and I'm like, okay, Sunderland looking okay. When they got promoted last year, I was tight. Now they're 1 below West Ham. I don't necessarily know if I want them to be in the Premier League because I kind of like them. But
the only closest team I have to that is Colchester United, because I was born at Colchester Hospital, so I kind of keep tabs on them. But they are League 2, so they're basically 4th division. They're not very good.
On FIFA, I always liked to be Sunderland because you could build them up. That's what right in the Premier League. That was the fun part of it. You're look, no big deal. It's won the FA Cup, but also I'm in 2 leagues below Premier League. No big deal.
Yeah, with Football Manager, I used to do that. I used to go into the non-league teams and try to find the funniest name. That'll do. I'll just build them up. That'd be fun.
Pretty much. Whoever has cool jerseys, you're I'll go with them. And Sunderland has the red and white stripes. I like that. Maybe now I can invest, because I didn't used to have a good enough computer to play decent games that you would just burn. You would just set fire to my hard drive, motherboard, if I played a hard intensive game. So I used to play on the mobile version. The mobile version of Football Manager, it's good, but it's watered down for sure.
Yeah. But is it
West
weird?
Ham?
Is it weird, real quick? Is it weird?
Yeah.
Is it weird? I know I keep bringing it up every week, but we have the World Cup coming up. Isn't it weird that between now and December 26th, we only have 6 Premier League games left?
That is pretty weird. Yeah, I don't like that. I've also decided if USA doesn't look great, I'm probably not going to give a shit about the World Cup after if we start 0-2, I'm probably going to come out.
Oh, so you're not gonna want to do a weekly World Cup wrap up for Claret and Big Blue?
Maybe. I don't know. It's there's a lot going on, hockey's starting back up this week. Basketball will be going on. I just don't know if I'm gonna care.
Well, there's your sell to keep watching.
I mean, it's our year. It's our year, but the cup is coming home to the U.S., right where God intended it to be. But
so if USA make it all the way to the final of the World Cup, are you going to be excited?
I'm absolutely. I'm absolutely. I'm just saying. I'm going to be very fair weather. I'm going to be very fair weather if USA is not off to if we start the group stage and just go 0 for 3 in the group, I'm not going to give a shit about the knockout stage.
And then if they make it to the
I'll
final,
probably still gamble on it. I'll probably still gamble on it. I'll be up early too, so I'll be probably betting it. So never mind.
But if USA make the World Cup final, all of a sudden you're going to be like Uncle Sam.
Oh, I'm the
Wait,
biggest. I'm the biggest USA fan. I will do this podcast in a Uncle Sam garb. I'll do that if the US makes it to the World Cup final.
You heard it here first.
Guaranteed.
Also, yeah, I'm keeping up with UK.
Right.
UK. Also, yeah, you mentioned Chad. What Chicharito has started for West Ham sometimes because he's one of those players that come off the. Yeah, that was.
He did start for us for
Sometimes,
a little bit.
I was so excited when he joined us, but then we just never used him right.
I remember like when we picked West Ham, like on Pass the Gravy, when I was like, Pat, we got to find a team. And Pat was like, well, I was like, we can't be bandwagoners. So like marked out the big six. He's like, well, West Ham is a cool fight song. And I listened to it. We're like, you know what? I think that's our team. And I was like, well, let's go pick our favorite players. And I was like, oh, they got fucking Chicharito. Just because I remember going to the MLS All-Star game, like his first, like right after he signed with Man United. And it was here in Texas. So like all the Mexican football fans were just huge Chicharito fans, and
He's like a god.
Yeah, he is. I didn't realize that. And then whoever the Dynamo just signed as their international player or designated player, he was like the captain of Mexico, and he's like one of the other gods of Mexican soccer.
That's a Marvel movie I want to watch. Captain Mexico.
$50 for an Uncle Sam costume on Amazon. But Chicharito was tight, dude. Chicharito was like, you always had hope with him, and then you realize, like, well, we're not utilizing him. Like he was a classic, like that guy. Like he could, like maybe
he was a poacher.
He could be on the Giants.
Chicharito was a poacher. He needed another striker with him to do all the fancy things, and then he would pick up the scraps.
Up front, and then Arnautovic is selfish, so he's not going to pass the ball. It was also a terrible situation he was in.
Adrian Valdez there joined us from Facebook. Now Facebook's allowing us to stream again because they fucked us over on Sunday. Fuck you, Zuckerberg.
I believe Adrian was the one making us those memes on Sunday. It was pretty great. Pretty great.
It was good. That Salt Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Arnold. Classic. So yeah, what do we got? So we got Anderlecht again on Thursday.
They're gonna lick my balls, you know what I'm saying, right, gang? We got them on Thursday, but then also like we're at that point where, like the fuck you, we don't give a shit about the Conference League part where it's like, hey bitch, all we do is win. So like I think we win again. We are number one locked up, right?
So we'll go on to 12 points.
I'm gonna go see if I can find it.
So it depends if Silkeborg. But then we beat Silky. But yes, pretty much. It's not. I don't think it will be mathematically confirmed. But yes, if we beat Anderlecht, pretty much it's guaranteed we're going to go through to the knockout stages. Pretty much, which would be nice because then we can fuck off the next two games and play our youth against Silkeborg and FSCFSP.
I feel like all of the teams we play in the Conference League are just like punch a keyboard. And that is who we're playing.
The only thing is,
RFS. Okay, so we have 9 points. Anderlecht is second with 4. Nobody else has 2 wins. We have double everybody's wins and then some.
The only thing is where's the Europa League?
Conference League.
Well, no, so I'm talking about the next round because obviously.
Oh, is it like where we played? Was it Sevilla or Villarreal or whoever the fuck we played last year?
Then the teams that finished third in the groups in the Europa League fall down,
and then we have to play them.
And so that's where we could risk meeting right now at their halfway stage. You got that Lazio.
Don't want that.
Roma.
Don't want that.
And
if we're the one,
I kind of like.
Although I don't care about that, we'd probably smoke Man United. I think Man United's gonna give a fuck about the Conference League. And they're gonna give a fuck about the Conference League. They get knocked out. They're gonna be like, how do we stay up at the Premier? Like, how we qualify in the Premier League, dude?
Yeah,
they're. I think that like that's
But then last year we was in Europa League and we had the conference, the Champions League cast-offs, and we still made.
But like, I can see like a Champions League team giving a shit about the Europa League because you're like,
if you win
you can win and get back in. But like, they're like, we're a Champions League team. What are we doing? We don't give a fuck about the conference. Like, like Man United is gonna be like, who gives a shit? You get kicked out of that. Like, remember Tottenham just was like, we are out of the Conference League. We don't really.
Yeah, we're not even gonna play all 6 games.
And they forfeited games.
Well, yeah, because they couldn't get enough players or some because of COVID or some bollocks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I knew they did some shit to get out of it, where they're scared. They were just clearly scared.
Yeah, so UEFA
Tottenham
forfeited their 6th game.
Look, we don't want the cup that we get to be the UEFA Conference League, and then we're just gonna say we didn't want to play in it, not that we couldn't have won it.
Yeah, they weren't gonna win it. Anyway. But then next game, then it's Southampton on Sunday, of course. All of our games are on Sunday at 9 a.m. God damn it. Gotta be a win, right?
It better be. Keep going. Let's just keep playing like we've been playing, dude. It's been sick. What if we got a double win Sunday again?
What's because he seems to be on a roll. What's real quick before we wrap up the show? What's can you see odds for the Southampton game right now?
I could probably pull it up.
I wonder what odds are for Scamacca to score a hat trick or something.
I don't know though. I won't be able to see those odds.
Oh, you can't see those?
I won't.
Are they what?
Just right out. Yeah, you got to kind of. Let me see.
Do those kind of markets only come out closer to the game or something?
A lot of times they will. Maybe they don't. Hold on.
Because look at Southampton lost 4-0 to Man City, lost 2-1 to Everton, who suck, lost 1-0 to Villa, who suck, lost 1-0 to Wolves, who suck.
Okay, Scamacca to score a hat trick is plus 7,400.
Woo!
$100, then you'd win 7,400 on top of it.
That's some good odds.
Just to have a hat trick.
So even that's what $10, you get $740.
$740. That's what I did in Big Brother. I bet somebody would self-evict, and they did in the first week. And it was I just built my football bankroll for the year on it was $500 just
nice
right away. It was pretty sweet.
That might be good odds. I'll have to look into that. What? Not that because we're not sponsored by any of them. All betting apps are available.
Do I do that?
What ones do you do?
Do I bet him to score a hat trick?
What service do you use?
My bookie. I'm gonna do it.
My bookie? Never even
My
heard of
bookie. Oh, what? Hold on.
This is live right now. This is happening.
There. Done.
I mean, even $1 is 74.
I put $10 on it.
That's gonna be a nice 740 though.
Yeah, dude, that would be pretty sick.
I'm excited.
I'm rooting so hard for a hat trick now.
Or if he scores 2 and David Moyes takes him off, you go, fuck you,
dude. I'll be so pissed. Now I'm really excited about this game now. I was kind of just meh, whatever.
There you go. You're welcome, Alex. You're welcome. All right, so let's wrap that up, and then we'll see how much richer Alex is next week. If you want more content, though, of course, don't forget you can check out all of our other podcasts. You can follow us at CBB Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then we've got Waffle Box and Pass the Gravy coming up. New episodes tomorrow. What's the Gravy Gang got in store for them in this week's? The Gravy.
We'll probably talk about Blink-182 getting back together. Tom DeLong is now back with the gang. They're
finally coming.
There's McDonald's Happy Meals for adults now that are really expensive.
Wait, weren't the Happy Meals for adults anyway? Have I been doing that wrong?
I don't know. There's a special one that everybody's go get this with this weird this toy in it. And you're all right. I'm not gonna. I might actually have to go taste test just to double check.
See, my sick brain is a Happy Meal for adults. Just has like a mini vibrator or something like adult toys.
It's just two kids Happy Meals. That's probably what they should do. They're smart. Nobody would know. I don't think that's what it is. But I couldn't tell you.
A pink box with a vibrator in, and a blue box with maybe a McDonald's cock ring.
Yeah, you should work that into like some maybe pitch that to them. They might be receptive of it around Valentine's Day. Write that down.
McDonald's.
Write that one down. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about football and some other stuff. I got some ideas I like to pitch to the game. We'll tell you what's not cool, and we'll answer your questions for the week. But yeah, Pass Grade Podcast at Pass Grade Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go give us a follow wherever you are on social media. What about Waffle Box? What we got going on in the Dub Box tomorrow?
We're talking about the crazy. I feel like almost 10% of our episodes, because this is going to be episode 68. I feel like at least 10% of these episodes, we're opening the show by talking about what crazy thing Kanye West did this week.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about Kanye again.
I thought that was a Photoshop this weekend.
Jeez. Oh yeah, Pat doesn't want to talk about football.
Hey, he was a good sport.
He was a good sport. But if you go to my highlight, I thought about clipping it and then having it on the internet forever. Well, it's on the internet forever. People have to find it, but I'm not going to do it. But that time I don't know who he was talking to, but he thought he muted his mic and he was talking about how he had like
taking a shit,
like a violent shit and stuff. It was hilarious. But yeah, kind of, and then also we were talking about the daycare that likes to scare your kids straight in Mississippi.
More like day scare, am I right?
Oh, do you know what? I was looking for a pun for that, and I'm now annoyed I didn't come up with that. Jesus Christ.
Don't worry. You can have that one.
Yeah.
All credit for it. Go to you.
Look at that. That's why we're a team. And then obviously done one record, and Cushion's movie review is going to be Werewolf by Night, the new Marvel special on Disney Plus right now.
That's what's
all that good stuff. So check that out at Wafflebox Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and the Book of Face. But until next week, don't forget
seahorses forever.
We'll see you next Tuesday. And Yankees. Bye.
And Yankees.
Fuck, did a wrong video again.
We're almost there.
Damn it.
Cut that part.
See you next Tuesday. Come on, West Ham, Giants, and the Yankees.
Hey, let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown.
Can't hear shit.
Never mind.